Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you have a tractor with a front end loader, you'll notice very quickly that the grill mounted headlights are all but worthless when you have the bucket or any attachment on the front. So if you plan to do any work after dusk, one of the first things you want to consider is adding some supplemental lighting. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. The most ideal place to mount any additional lighting on your tractor is on your ROPS, or your rollover protection system. It sits up nice and high so the light will shine over your bucket or any attachments that you have on the front. But there are some things to consider before mounting anything to this ROPS system. First of all, it's there for a reason. It's there to protect you in the event that the tractor were to roll over. So it's really frowned upon to drill any holes in it, to weld anything to it. You just want to clamp things to it. I don't know what the manufacturer says, honestly. They may say don't put anything on it, but people do it. That's what we're going to do here today. And you have to do this really at your own risk. What you may see most commonly is a light bar attached to the top or the bottom of the ROPS system. I went with a little different selection for my B2601 today. I chose this Traveler system. It's a 2-light system, and I'm going to mount these lights on each side of the ROPS. I chose this for a number of reasons. First of all, it comes with a wiring harness, which I really like. It comes with a switch, everything you need to hook it up. Looks like the length of the wires are going to be just right. I really hope they are. It comes with mounting brackets, and probably the number one reason I chose it was because it's a 2-function light. It has the bright LED lights, but then there's also this amber trim that lights up, and that's a second setting from the switch. So you have bright light or light amber setting. So that kind of sold me, because I'm kind of a Clark Griswold when it comes to outdoor illumination. So any extra lights or functions, that sells me. Here's a close-up of the box. These lights are 1,370 lumens. I would imagine that is for both lights, not each. They're 20-watt lights, and I think they look pretty cool. Here's the lighting harness that it comes with. Really nice waterproof plugs, or water resistant plugs. Comes with a fused power supply, even a couple extra fuses. Stainless steel mounting bolts. A 2-position switch. The switch is not lighted, or at least it's not wired to be lighted. I would have liked that, but that's okay. And of course the 2 lights and the brackets. These are really heavy lights. I mean, that's probably a good 3/4 of a pound, maybe even a pound. Really heavy duty, probably glass or high impact plastic lenses. And the U-bolts that I'm going to use are something I picked up locally at my tractor supply store. They are 4-inch by 3-inch. If you can find a 3-inch wide U-bolt, it would be better, but the only thing they had in stock was the 4-inch. So we're going to use that, and I actually found a way that it's going to work pretty well. So I bought 4 of these, and let's get to work, shall we? Now I have a foldable ROPS system, so I'm going to fold down the ROPS so I'm not working above my head, and I can just work at eye level. I'll set it here to the bottom setting, and then I can work right here with everything right in front of me. Why work harder than you have to, right? I'm going to mount the brackets to the outside of the ROPS. You could mount it to the inside, but I'm choosing to mount it to the outside because I think there's less of a chance of me casting a shadow from the light. I'm not worried about the lights getting hit by trees or anything, because there already are some lights mounted to the fenders, and I don't really go into situations where I'm that tight into trees or brush. And I also think they're a lot more durable than the factory blinker lights that are on the outside. So I think they'll be just fine. So this is where I'm going to mount them. I'm going to mount them on an angle because the ROPS are angled back, and I want the lights to be angled forward. So the brackets will be mounted like this. Now, here's the U-bolt, which simply is going to be mounted from the front like this. So let me just get that started, and then we'll snug things up. Got it. And I'm not even left-handed. Remember I said I was going to tilt the bracket forward as much as I could because the ROPS are leaning backward. So by having these larger 4-inch clamps, U-bolts, I'm able to angle them, and it actually works out pretty well. I still would prefer the 3-inch or 3.5-inch, but this is going to be just fine. So I'm going to snug these up here. I'm mounting the bracket right at the top where the curve starts on the ROPS. So I'm going to tighten this down right here. Let's just flip this guy back up so we can get a visual now. Pretty nice. That's actually leaning forward a little too much, so I'm going to have to loosen it and straighten it up somewhat. But I'm going to put the light on now so I can really see what it looks like. One thing you lose when you use these 3/8 U-bolts is the ability to rotate the light right or left, because the U-bolt fits so snugly between the light and the bracket. But they seem to be facing forward just where we need them, so it should be okay. I'm going to go ahead and mount this other light. This time I'm going to leave the ROPS straight up because it didn't seem to make too much of a difference having them laid back. I didn't take a single measurement, and it shows because one light's higher than the other. I'll make the adjustments. All right, so there they are. Not my favorite look. I may change those U-bolts later on, but this will be enough to get things in place and get things wired up. I found these 14-inch black zip ties in the garage, so that's what I'm going to use to mount the wire to the ROPS. And I'm going to want to make sure that I can fold the ROPS without pulling the wire. All right, not bad. Now let's get the wiring harness and loosely run it where we want. I'm going under. All right, under we go. There's a surprisingly limited amount of room under here. Pretty limited. Now, if you have the Kubota B2601 and probably many other Kubota tractors, you'll know that there is a power supply under this right rear fender, and it's designed for a work light. I'm not using that because I think it's a smaller amperage wire. Plus, I'll probably use that later for a reverse LED light so I can have something behind me. So that's why I'm not using that wire, even though it's already there and ready to use. I'm trying to run all the way up to the battery terminals. If I have enough wire, my plan is to mount that switch right here. I already checked, there's really nothing behind here. This boot lifts right off. All right, that seems to give me a good amount of room to at least fish around down there. Let's see. Can you guys even see anything? Probably not, right? You want to come over here? Okay. All right, come on. I actually want to go around, come on, around this piece too. That's going up to the battery eventually. And this I wanted to bring over this piece. You know what? Maybe under this floor pad. Yeah, I got it. Let me take up this floor pad a little bit. Oh, yeah. There we go. Look at that. Should make it. And look at that. We're going to have enough wire to get all the way to the battery terminals. I'm going to see if I can just take this steering wheel off, and then I can take this whole shroud thing more out of the way. I mean, this tractor's not even a year old yet, so nothing should be rusted into place yet. There it comes. And these tractors have hydraulic steering, so it doesn't matter where you put the steering wheel because it's never going to return to the right area anyway because it drifts all the time. So that makes things a little easier. Oh, look at that. All except for the key switch, we could take that right out of there. I wonder how easy that unplugs, or how difficult that unplugs. Whoa, that was easy. Look at that. It's out. Here's a bit of a close-up of what I'm looking at. Right below the throttle control is this nice flat area. There's nothing underneath of it. So if I can mount this switch right there, I think that's going to be really nice. The only challenge is I have to drill a square hole. Now I'm going to have to disconnect this switch so that I can mount it from the top. So that means unplugging these 6 wires that are here. But thank goodness for the 21st century. Just use our phone and take a picture of how the wires are wired. Nice. Here's a tip for you kids. Don't just try and pull these connectors off by hand. Take the time to find your pliers in a drawer and use the pliers to grab them, because if not, you will ultimately pull the wire out of the connector. Ask me how I know. According to the old Mitutoyo calipers, that is 840 thousandths by 1 inch 10 thousandths. So the closest thing I have to 840 would be 7/8, which is 875. That won't be too sloppy. So 7/8 by 1 inch. So I need a 7/8 by 1 inch square drill bit. Here we go. Always a little scary. Well, now or never. Yikes. That's it. I'm not going to ream it or anything. I'm just going to file it out. By the way, there is no such thing as a 7/8 by 1 inch square drill bit, just in case you were wondering. Now this file is almost 1 inch in width, so I'm just going to file the corners out and hopefully this will fit right in there. Baby steps, Bob, baby steps. You don't want to take too much because you can't put any back. Nice. How nice is that? Alright, so the power supply goes in the middle too, with red facing this side. So that would be that one. And the negative on that side. That's nice. And the blue goes to number 2. Well, there was just the right amount of wire to run up here. So I'm going to tie these in directly to the battery cables. This is a fused connection, so I'm not worried about any shorts or anything. So I'll come from under here. I'm going to place this behind the nut like this. And we'll just crush it into place. Same thing, I'm going to pull it from behind. Like that. Oh. Tighten this bugger up. That seems good. Cover that up. Nice. Now before I button everything up, we should test it, don't you think? So number 1 should be the amber lights. I can see them, you might not be able to. Number 2 should be the LED lights. Nice. All right, so it works. Let me tie these wires up and put everything back together again. By the way, we're in a push right now to reach the first 1,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel or if you have not done so yet, I invite you to please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Make sure you chat in the comments because there are a lot of great people there with great tips and great advice, and I love to interact with you as well. So please hit subscribe, click that little bell, make it turn gray so you're notified when I put out my next video, and stick with me for the rest of this video. Now for the underneath parts, I've got this variety of colors and sizes of zip ties. We'll use whatever works. Should we use yellow or orange? Oh, let's use orange because Kubota. Let's go under. You can stay there. I'll go under. Don't worry. I got this. I got it. You stay right there. Comfortably wherever you are. I got this. I got it. I got it. Zip tie. Yellow's good for me. Let's put another just to be safe. Oh, orange this time. Okay. All right, that's okay. Let's put the dash all back together first, and then we'll continue with those wires up front. Let's see if this goes on as hard as it was to come off. Around there. Oh, better plug the key switch back in. Or in. Yep, that's good. Oh, it's that tilt steering button. There we go. Gotta go in the slot there. That goes in there. Nice. Beep, beep. Let's just tidy up these wires. I can't find my little snippers right now, so just use these metal shears. Let's pull this thing into the shed where it's a little bit darker. We'll try these things out. Well, here we are. There are the factory headlights. Can you even see those behind the grill? Here are the amber lights. And here are the big ones. Very nice. Here's a little indoor shed test. There are the factory headlights. And here are the new LEDs. I don't know, can you tell a difference? Factory, new lights. Factory, new lights. Hey, thanks again for joining me today. Remember, hit that like button, click subscribe, tap the bell, talk to me in the comments, and I'll catch you next time.